Hello, welcome back to Story Molder. I'm Vern. Today's story is called The Crown of Snow. A long time ago, at the foot of a mountainous village, there lived a poor farmer and his elderly widowed mother. They were humble, peaceful, and happy people. This mountainous village where they lived was ruled by an autocratic, tyrannical leader who was cruel and oppressive toward his people. He was only concerned about himself and his interests, not his people's. Although he was a warrior, he had some fears. He feared being vulnerable to aging, failing health, and strength. Because of his fears, he did not see the benefit of having the elderly around his village. So he ordered that all the elderly be abandoned and left to die. In this area and during these times, it was not uncommon to abandon the elderly. Disobeying the leader's proclamation was not an option for many of the villagers. The leader gets what he wants. For this particular farmer, although eliminating his mother troubled him deeply, the situation was hopeless. To go against the proclamation would mean death for both of them anyway. He loved his mother dearly, but knew that he had no rights and could expect brute punishment if the orders were not carried out. One day, after he had finished working, he prepares to carry out this inhumane, cruel order in a humane way. He cooked some unwhitened rice, the food eaten by the poor. He dried and bundled it in a square cloth. He hung the bundle around his neck, along with a gourd filled with water. Then he lifted his aged mother onto his back and started on his painful journey up the mountain. The road was narrow, long and steep. It crisscrossed many confusing paths. In some places they were lost and unsure about which way to go. But he kept on going. At this point, it didn't matter anyway which path he took. He climbed blindly, passing thick bushes and tall trees, going up, further up toward the highest point of the mountain known as Mountain of the Abandoning of the Aged. The eyes of his mother was not so dim that she didn't notice the reckless pace that he moved from path to path. She began to worry and thought, my son does not know the mountain's many paths, so his way back down might be filled with danger and difficulty. As he carried out the order, she was thinking about his safety. As they went along, his mother broke off twigs from bushes as they passed. Every few steps of the way, she dropped handfuls of twigs as they climbed the narrow path. Behind them, the path was marked with tiny piles of twigs. Finally, they reached the top. Tired and heartsick, the son gently lowered his mother to the ground. Silently, he prepared a comfortable place for her. He gathered fallen leaves and made a soft, cushiony place and tenderly lifted his mother onto it. He wrapped her padded coat more closely around her sloping shoulders. With tearful eyes and an aching heart, he reluctantly said goodbye. The mother's voice was full of unselfish love as she gave him her last advice. Son, let not thine eyes be blinded. The mountain path is full of dangers. Look carefully and follow the path with the piles of twigs. They will guide you to the familiar path further down. He turned to look back over the path. Then he looked at his mother's poor, old, shriveled hands. They were all scratched up from the work of love. The son was so surprised. His realization of his mother's love weakened his knees. He bowed before her and said, "Oh, honorable mother, your kindness breaks my heart. I'm not leaving you here. If you must die, then I will too." Together, we will follow the path of twigs back home, and we will die together again. He propped his mother onto his shoulder. The weight seemed much lighter this time as he quickly went down the path. Through the shadows and the moonlight, they arrived at the little hut in the valley. Beneath the kitchen floor was a pantry for food. It was covered and hidden from view. The son hid his mother there. To save his mother's life, he risked his own. Every day, he supplied her with everything that she needed. Eagerly, he bore the stress of continually watching and fearing that his mother would be discovered. As time passed, he began to feel safer. Then again, the tyrant leader issued another unreasonable order, flexing his power, of course. He demanded that his subjects present to him a rope of ashes. No one knew what that was. What is that? How can I make that, he thought. Everyone was afraid because the order must be obeyed. Who knows what it is or how to make a rope of ashes, he asked the villagers. One night, stressed out about it, the son whispered the awful news to his hidden mother. Wait, she said, let me think. I'll think about it for a minute. On the second day, she told him how to do it. Make a rope of twisted straw, she said. Then lay it over a row of flat stones and burn it on a windless night. He called the people together and they did what his mother had told him to do. When the blaze subsided, there on the stones, with every twist and fiber showing perfectly, lay a rope of ashes. The leader was pleased by the knowledge of the son, but then asked, how did you know how to do it? The son said, I cannot lie. The truth must be told. He told the cruel leader the entire story. The leader listened and meditated in silence. The son waited anxiously as he knew that it would be the end of him and his mother. Finally, the leader lifted his head and said, this village needs more than strength of youth. I had forgotten about the well-known saying, with the crown of snow, there cometh wisdom. I now see the benefit of the elderly. The proclamation was revoked, and the cruel law against the elderly was abolished. The custom was no longer practiced. Only the legend remained. Thank you for coming back to listen to another story. Come back as often as you like. I'll be happy to have you. Goodbye for now.